Okay, everybody. Sunday night. What's going on, everybody? I am Mac, and I am back on this beautiful Sunday night in the live stream chat tonight, as I will be on for 2 more hours tonight. So 10:45, I'm calling it a stream, as it is the end of the weekend, unfortunately. So why not end it off with a bang? And pretty much what the Steelers did last night was start their night off with a bang, as right out of the gate, first team offense came on, set the entire tone of the game, punctuated with Jalen Warren giving second and third degree burns to that Buffalo first team defense with a 62-yard touchdown run. And then followed by a great return by Calvin Austin that set up Kenny Pickett. A perfect pass to Pat Freiermuth in the end zone. And the tone was set. So in these 2 hours, it's going to be an open chat. It's going to be a live chat. As always, the first hour, I'm just going to interact with the chat. And then for the last hour, I will try to get callers on. But as far as the callers go, I'm going to try to only do one at a time because I know a lot of people want to come on here. So I'm going to do it one at a time with the callers. And I'm going to give them 5 minutes each. And I will allow the same caller on twice, but I know that a lot of people want to be on here, and I want to give them all a fair shot to be on here. So I will drop the link at 9:45, call it a stream at 10:45. And as far as my next stream goes, that's going to be tough because, you know, if you listened to my stream last week and if you've heard me comment on a bunch of other videos, next weekend I will actually be back in Pittsburgh. I'm going to Burgettstown for a concert on the 26th for a concert that I'm going to. I bought tickets to a little bit before the Super Bowl, actually, so I ain't letting those go to waste. They're two of my favorite bands from high school. And then the day after, I'm going to be at the Pirates game. And, you know, by the time I come home, I'm just going to want to unwind and just, you know, enjoy, you know, just kind of take it easy for the rest of the night. So I don't really know when my next stream is going to be after this, so I'll just play it by ear. But yeah, in this chat or in this stream, I'm going to just ramble on about the Pittsburgh Steelers, man, and what I saw last night, just getting my intro out of the way, and then I'm going to interact with the chat. So obviously last night was just incredible, and I watched the game on replay. I watched the game on replay this morning, as I only saw the second half of last night's game when I got home from hanging out with my friends. So I couldn't really give a full analysis in my post game because A, I just don't really think it's really worth it because it's a preseason game. And B, if I really wanted to anyway, I couldn't give you a full analysis based on one half. So what I did is I went back on Red Zone and I rewatched the first half of last night. And I gotta say, man, like the first half of last night, I mean, what else do you want me to say? Like, the first team offense is on there. And this is a lot of the stuff that I'm going to be saying in my overreaction video tomorrow morning. So pretty much if you miss what I say in this chat, tune in to my video that I'm going to have out tomorrow morning in my overreaction Monday. But like the first team offense last night was just perfect. I mean, Kenny Pickett once again having a great, just looking great. And I really am growing more and more confident that we have found our franchise quarterback. And finding a franchise quarterback is hard enough on its own, but finding one, let alone after you have a first ballot Hall of Fame quarterback for 18 years, nonetheless, that's even harder. Because obviously when you have a young quarterback and you get one in the first round of the draft like we did with Kenny Pickett, expectations are going to go through the roof. And whatever you want to pin it on with Kenny Pickett with his rookie season last year, I blame a lot of it with offensive play calling, and I blame a lot of it with Matt Canada's lack of creativity with the offense. So whatever you want to pin it on, Kenny Pickett has been improving. Training camp after training camp after training camp, this kid just continues to, make progress. And that's what preseason's all about, man. It's not about the games. It's not if you win or lose the games in preseason. It's about progress, and it's about progression. And Kenny Pickett last night, 3 of 4 with a touchdown pass to Freiermuth. He looked great once again for the only 2 series that he was out there. And by then, Tomlin was like, yeah, we've seen enough of the first team offense. That's all we really need to see. And every time, mind you, every single time the first team offense has been on the field for preseason so far, granted, it's only been 2 or 3 drives it's only been at least 3 drives that the first team offense has been on the field in preseason so far. So I know it's an incredibly small sample size, but every time the first team offense has been on the field, it's resulted in touchdowns. And it's not like, swiveling it in at the 1-yard line on a quarterback sneak or, dumping it off on a jet sweep to Calvin Austin or Najee wiggling in at the goal line for a touchdown. These are big chunks of yardage that the Steelers are getting with touchdowns. Last week, 33-yard touchdown pass to George Pickens for the first touchdown of the game. Again, perfect pass by Kenny Pickett over the middle. Last night, first touchdown of the game, 62-yard touchdown run by Jaylen Warren. I can't even remember the last time that the Steelers had a rushing touchdown go for that long. It probably have to go back to like Super Bowl 40 when Willie Parker busted a 75-yarder. It's been that long since I've seen the Steelers have a long rushing touchdown like that. And then a 25-yard touchdown pass to Muth. Eerily similar to the touchdown pass that he had to George Pickens against Tampa Bay. So like I said, it's not like they're, dinky little 1-yard touchdown runs or 5-yard touchdown passes. These are big chunks of yards that the Steelers are getting for touchdowns. If it happens once, it's like, oh, okay, it's an anomaly. Happens twice, it's like, okay, that's just a coincidence. But if it happens 3 times like that, it ain't no fluke. This offense is improving. And we've seen it. We've definitely seen it. And like I said, 27 points in both preseason games. It may not be like a perfect indicator, but it's just a very good way to show improvement and progress with what your offense is capable of doing. And for as much as Steeler fans hate this guy to death, not that I blame him, you got to give Matt Canada some credit. Because the playbook is starting to get a little bit more creative. We're starting to see George Pickens run the routes that he's supposed to be running. We're starting to see Kenny Pickett use those legs to get out of tricky situations for good maneuverability. We're starting to see Calvin Austin be used for what he's supposed to be used for, take advantage of his legs and the speed that he has. And we're starting to see Kenny Pickett pick up on these disguise coverages. Every time last night, Buffalo tried to go from cover 1 to cover 2, Kenny Pickett picked it up. If you want to go back and look at the game against the Bills that we had last year, one of the worst games I've ever seen in my life, 38-3 loss to the Bills last year in Buffalo. But if you look at that game, all game long, the Bills were disguising coverages on Kenny Pickett. Couple weeks later against the Dolphins, all game long, Dolphins were disguising coverages against Kenny Pickett. And when you're going up against a young rookie quarterback like that, more often than not, it's going to work. Because, it's a young quarterback. It's a rookie. He's not used to playing coverages like that. But you look at the highlights from last night. Kenny Pickett read every single disguise that the Bills threw at him. And it didn't even faze him. It's like he was used to it. Looked like a seasoned veteran out there, man. And you just love to see it, So that's why I'm saying that Kenny Pickett is really giving me a lot of confidence that we found our next franchise quarterback. It's like Big Ben passing the torch down to pretty much our backyard, because that's where Kenny Pickett came from. He came from Pitt. But anyway, that's my intro. I'm just going to interact with the chat. For those of you just joining, thank you very much for just joining, by the way. But as I said in the beginning, I'm going to be on here for 2 hours. 9:45, I'm going to get some callers on here, but it's going to be different this time because obviously a lot of people want to come on here and interact. So I'm going to limit it to one caller at a time, and I'm going to give them a 5-minute window, and then I'm going to move on to the next caller, and so on. So that's going to be the second half of the stream, but the first half is just going to be me interacting with the chat, and then 10:45, I'm calling it a stream. So let me just interact with the chat. I got a lot of what's ups in the chat. I know that. Thank you all for tuning in on your Sunday night, taking time out of your Sunday night to come and be on here with me. I know I had to arrange stuff like that. I had a pretty good weekend. As I said last night, hanging out with the friends. And then today, after I went to church, I had my Tabata, and then I had to clean up my place a little bit, and then I had to make a pretty late dinner for my standards. So, here I am now. I didn't think I'd get all this done by 8:45, but I did. So, yeah. So just interacting with the chat now. No. Bills are not missing the playoffs. They are way too good to miss the playoffs. Patriots are not making the playoffs this year. They did nothing besides sign Ezekiel Elliott, which I really don't think that's going to benefit them a ton. But if you look at, here's the thing with that, okay? I'm an old school guy when it comes to offense. I believe that in order to get a good offensive rhythm going, you got to have some sort of a running game, which is why I'm always a big fan of fullbacks. You hardly see fullbacks anymore in the league because it's a quarterback-driven league now. But here's the thing with that. Ezekiel Elliott's still a good running back. I just don't think he's a superstar anymore. But the Patriots have nothing as far as their receiving corps goes. And Mac Jones is just not cutting it. New England's a strong defensive team. The Patriots are a lot like us. I will admit that. They're a lot like us, okay? We're strong defensive teams that have questionable offenses, okay? The difference between us and the Patriots is that we're more defined offensively, okay? We have better receivers than the Patriots do. We have a better set of tight ends than they do. I'd say New England has a little bit of a better O-line than we do, and they have a better run game than us, but New England's offense is so one-dimensional. Buffalo, there's just no way they're missing the playoffs. They're not missing it. I still think Miami wins that division because that's my bold prediction. But Buffalo is easily going to be the top wild card, in my opinion. The offense and defense both look far. Oh, for sure. The defense was phenomenal too last night. Like, literally everything that you could have wanted us to do right last night went right. You know, everything. Defense, phenomenal. Shut out Buffalo for 3 quarters. They got pretty much 2 garbage time touchdowns. The first touchdown they got was like a gift. It was a fumble by us that put the ball at our own 1-yard line, and the Bills recovered it. So it's like, yeah, you better score right there. We fucked up. You better score right there if you have the ball at the 1-yard line. And then the last touchdown they got was under the 2-minute warning. It was garbage time. The game was over. A lot of people look at the score. It's like, oh, 27-15. That was a close game. It was not close at all. You'd think that we were the team that was in the divisional last year, and Buffalo was the one that was, barely missing the playoffs. They were like 2 completely different teams last night. But like I said, that's not what preseason's all about. It's not about if you win or lose the games. It's about the progress that you make and who you're going to see on the field. And from what I saw last night, it was just fantastic. And if you were at the game, you had to have had the time of your life last night, man. I wish I could have gone, but I didn't. Went to the Guns N' Roses. Oh, I can't stand Guns N' Roses. I never got the hype with them. Guns N' Roses sucks. I like Slash, but I can't stand Guns N' Roses. Axl Rose ruins it for me. Let's see. I know this chat's moving real quickly, so just bear with me, guys. Yeah, that's what I said, though, Steeler Nation. I think Ezekiel Elliott is still a good player. I just don't think he's a superstar. I just don't think it's going to benefit him all. It's not going to benefit the Patriots all that much, except give them a veteran in the backfield. Pressman, what's going on, man? Thanks for tuning in. Appreciate it. Backup center, absolutely. Kendrick Green is a dumpster. That dude just gets bullied every single time he snaps the ball. He's getting pushed back into the pass rush. He can't block well. He don't open up any holes. He's a complete waste of space. I can't stand Kendrick Green, man. Definitely Riley and Sullivan are going to compete for that center spot. Definitely. I could not agree with that anymore. Yeah, man, Kendrick. I cannot stand Kendrick Green. Who do I hate more? Who do I hate more between Dan Moore and Kendrick? It's close. It's close. I'd say Kendrick Green at this point because at least Dan Moore. Okay, I'm not a Dan Moore guy in any sense, but at least Dan Moore can open up some kind of gaps for the run game. And at least Dan Moore can stand up to pass rushes a little bit better. Kendrick Green is just absolutely useless. I can't stand that guy. And, I tried to be patient with him. Because it was like, okay, you're replacing Marquise Pouncey. He's a Hall of Fame center. But, man, Kendrick Green is just absolutely useless. Yeah, Pouncey is missed for sure. Pouncey is definitely missed for sure. It's center is just one of those things that a lot of people take for granted. I feel like center is just one of those positions that a lot of people just take for granted because, like, you don't really pay a whole lot of attention to the O line. Like, seriously, when you're watching your offense play, you have to put your head on like a swivel, okay? You got to watch like every single aspect. You got to pay good attention to the O-line, and that's what I try to do because I know the type of quarterback that Kenny Pickett can be. I'm watching the O-line, man. And from what I see, Kendrick Green just, oh my God, that guy is horrible. And Villanueva definitely. Villanueva sucks too. Glad he's gone. We have not had a good O-line in like 6 years. But I will say, I mean, the O-line the O-line definitely does look improved. I will say that about the O-line. It definitely does look improved in this preseason. The only really bad parts that the O-line had was last night in both games. The only real complaint that I had with last night, and you might call this nitpick, you might call this a minor complaint, but really the only thing that I think went wrong for us last night was that sack that Trubisky had that when he lost like 17 yards and that fumble that the Bills capitalized on for a touchdown. And other than that, that's it. Those are the only two things that went wrong for us last night. But other than that, the O-line just has looked really good so far. I think that Siamalu acquisition is just going to really set the tone for this O-line. Siamalu's done great so far for us. And then, like I said, at left tackle, I said this in my post game. Like, for right now, I would not, I would not put Broderick Jones in at left tackle for the first 3 weeks. Because look at the pass rushes that he's going to have to go up against for the first 3 weeks. Week 1, he's going to have to go up against Joey Bosa. Or Nick Bosa, I'm sorry. He's going to have to go up against Nick Bosa. He's the defending Defensive Player of the Year. So that's week 1. Week 2, Myles Garrett, one of the best edge rushers in the game. Week 3, Max Crosby. Those are 3 stout pass rushers that you're putting a rookie left tackle in just to start the season. That could get Kenny Pickett injured if you do that. So, like, yes, definitely, I definitely think Nick Broderick Jones should definitely start at left tackle in week 4, but it's at the same time, it's like you don't want to rush him. He ain't ready to go up against pass rushers like that yet because, like, I don't know if it's a great indicator because when Broderick Jones was going up against Alex Highsmith in training camp, Highsmith beat him 2 out of 3 series. And we know that the type of season that Alex Highsmith had, he had 14 and a half sacks last year, and he got extended. Okay? So definitely do not rush Broderick Jones. If you have to put Dan Moore in at left tackle for the first 3 weeks, fine. But eventually you're going to have to start you're going to have to start Broderick Jones at least week 4, in my opinion. I know I got really carried away with that, but what do I think of Mason Rudolph? I think Mason Rudolph has had a pretty good preseason so far. I know he didn't do too much yesterday, but that was just because the offense was already so in sync that it really didn't even matter to me at that point. But I think Mason Rudolph has done pretty well in preseason so far. So, like I said, I'm not the biggest Mason Rudolph guy, but I do have a lot of respect for people who are still trying their best to like win a spot on the team, man. So I definitely applaud Rudolph. I definitely applaud Mason for that. Let's see. Kyle says JPR looked pretty awesome potential. Oh, for sure, man. Yeah. Go look at the highlights, man. PZ Jr. was covering really well. like that. I wouldn't say it was. I wouldn't say it was an elite performance by him, but like if you saw the way that he was locking down everybody, he was on Gabe Davis all night last night. He covered him so well. And I know Gabe Davis is not a number one receiver, but like Peasy covered him so well last night. That was lockdown corner coverage that I saw from Peasy Jr. last night. And he had the interception last night. And he threw the ball that he intercepted to his dad in the stands as well, which is just a beautiful moment, you know. The expectations are through the roof with Peasy Jr. here, especially in Pittsburgh. Because let me tell you, it's all because of his name, all right? It's all because of his name. Peasy Sr. used to be the all-time sack leader for us until James Harrison broke it in 2016, and TJ Watt is going to break it, okay? We know that. TJ Watt is going to break James Harrison's record. But Peasy Sr. was the all-time sack leader for us until Harrison broke it, and he's a legendary Steeler alumni. With us, you would know that Steeler fans' expectations are incredibly high. We expect Peasy Jr. to follow in the footsteps of his dad, and we expect him to be a superstar. Now, I'm not going to kill him just yet if he has like a rookie season. But you see, like, this is why I'm much more patient with the players that we draft versus players that we get in free agency or through trades, okay? Because the players that we draft will always be Pittsburgh Steelers. The players that we get from trades or free agency, they're not one of us, so I have less patience with them. I have more patience with players that we draft, okay? So it's like if it continues for Peasy Jr. and he continues to get burnt, I'm going to get vocal about it, okay? But I'm being patient with him. I'm not going to kill him because of his rookie year. So there's the story with that. Why aren't you happy about Devin Bush? Oh, I forgot you're not a Steeler fan, Tom. I was going to say, I love that Devin Bush is finally gone. Devin Bush, man. You want to talk about wasted potential. That's Devin Bush. Guy plays it way too safe. Do I think Cam Hayward quits after this year? No, he ain't. He's not going to quit. I think you mean retire. There's a big difference between quit and retire, dude. I think maybe Cam Hayward plays one more year after this year and then he retires. But no, he's never going to quit. Well, anyway, I'm 28 minutes in. As always, this is my Sunday night stream. I am about a half hour in now, so for those that were not here for the beginning, I'll explain it once again. First of all, like, comment, subscribe. Follow me on Instagram. Link is in the description box below. So for the first half, I'm just going to react. I'm just going to interact with the chat. Then at 9:45, I'm going to drop the link, take some callers. But this time's going to be a little different because I know that a lot of people want to be on call. So I'm going to drop the link, allow one person at a time to be on there, and give them a 5-minute window. And then I'm going to move on to the next caller because I know I want everyone to have I want everyone who wants to be on here to have a fair shot of being on here, you know, because I know a lot of people are want to be on here, so I just want to give everyone a fair shot. So at 9:45, I'm going to drop the link, let a person be on here, then I'm going to move on to another caller, and then 10:45, I'm going to call it a stream, so 2 more hours for tonight. So as we approach the halfway mark, who's worse between Dante Moncrief and Marcus Wheaton. Oh, Dante Moncrief by a mile. Not even close. May as well call him Dante Concrete Hands because he had freaking cinder blocks for hands. Dude couldn't catch COVID if he was at a COVID party. You know? Guy was useless. And we hyped him up to be we hyped him up to be a number 2. Like, we definitely got the number 2 part right. Because he's number 2, like, taking a shit. That's what Dante Moncrief is. Plain and simple. Who would win a fight between Austin Hedges or Mitch Trubisky? I think it'll be a stalemate. I think it'll be a stalemate because neither of them don't know what the hell they're doing. Actually, I think Mitch Trubisky would win because Austin Hedges can't hit. So I think Mitch wins by default because Austin Hedges can't hit. So there you go with that. Moncrief and Aguilar are pretty much the same player. I don't think one's worse than the other. They're the same player. Lima Sweet or Moncrief, again, they're pretty much the same player. But at least Moncrief did have that one fluke season with the Jags. Or was it with the Colts? I know it was in the AFC South. I'm pretty sure it was with the Jags, though. So at least Moncrief had that one fluke season. Lima Sweet's never been good. Wow. Jari or DeSmith, like, who's better? Man, I actually think I like Casey DeSmith better at this point. Because I trust him more and I don't have any expectations for Jari at this. Well, no, I don't have any expectations for Casey DeSmith at this point. But Tristan Jari, everyone treats him like he's Marc-Andre Fleury 2.0 or something, or he's like Marty Brodeur 2.0. I would say Casey DeSmith. From, let's see, Jeremiah says, from what I've seen from the Steelers so far preseason, how do I feel about the team going forward in this positive direction? Love the direction that we're headed. Definitely see improvement. Definitely see progress being made. I'm definitely seeing the offense have some kind of click and flow to it. But again, it's preseason. We've only seen the first team offense for a small sample size. Obviously, they're not going to continue it all season. There's going to be times where, the offense is out of sync and they have their bad days. Every team has bad games. But from what I'm seeing with this offense so far in preseason, it is definitely looking great. Love it. The hell kind of question is that? Jamar Chase or Moncrief? The hell kind of question is that? Charlie Batch or Mason Rudolph? That's an interesting question, actually. I always liked Charlie Batch. I always thought he was the best backup that we've had that I've seen. So, yeah, I always liked Charlie Batch, honestly. And, that's an interesting question. I would probably say Charlie Batch for right now, but Mason Rudolph honestly has a good case. So, yeah, Charlie Batch, even if the Steelers lost the game, I always did, even if the Steelers had to have a game where Charlie Batch had to play, like the first couple weeks of 2010, where Ben was suspended because of the allegations that he had, and late in the season in 2012 against the Ravens when he went into Baltimore and played the Ravens and beat the Ravens in Baltimore, who had a crazy home winning streak at the time. Charlie Batch was always a pretty good, dependable backup. So, yeah, I always liked Charlie Batch. I always thought he was a good backup. Put some respect on Lima Swede. Yeah, he won the Super Bowl because of the team that he was on. I mean, come on. Come on, man. I could have been on that '08 Steelers team, and I still would have gotten a ring. Every player gets a Super Bowl ring for that, okay? Lima Swede did absolutely jack shit for us in '08. Okay, I could have been on that '08 team, and I'd have a ring. What point does it make? Most frustrating safety, Morgan Burnett or Terrell Edmonds? Terrell Edmonds by far. Terrell Edmonds was a first-round pick. Morgan Burnett, I had no expectations for whatsoever. But Terrell Edmonds definitely was Terrell Edmonds had his moments where he looked good, but then like he was just getting burned on like everything. So like Terrell Edmonds really frustrated me. He really did. I wish him luck. I hope that he's able to develop into a good safety, but man, that guy really frustrated me when he was here. Is Minka the next Ed Reed? I don't know. That's a hard question to answer. Well, the difference. Well, here's the thing. Okay, Ed Reed's most known for being I'm sorry, I lost my train of thought. Ed Reed's most known for being a free safety, but you got to remember before he got moved into free safety, he played strong safety. Okay, so Minka's always been a free safety. So like I don't really know. He definitely has good ball hawking abilities and he can definitely cause turnovers. But I don't know if it's fair to say that he's the next Ed Reed. I don't think anyone, I think the two closest, like, here's the thing. In my opinion, the three greatest safeties to ever play the game, no particular order, Ronnie Lott, Paul Malu, and Ed Reed. Those are the three greatest safeties to ever play the game, in my opinion. So I don't think it's fair to say that he's the next Ed Reed. He definitely has some characteristics of him, but I don't think he's ever going to be as good as him. Giants do look promising. I really like the direction that the Giants are heading in, Sean. Definitely. They have a lot to be hopeful for. Mahomes will never win a Super Bowl. Yeah, I guess that's why he's already won 2 of them. Yeah. Yeah, good good analysis right there. Look, man, if you're trying to troll me, it doesn't work. Okay? It doesn't work, dude. Okay? Because it takes, it takes a bullshitter to know a bullshitter, and it takes a troll to know a troll. Okay? You're not getting me, dude. An 8-team fantasy keeper league. I am keeping Barkley and drafting Chase. I honestly don't do fantasy anymore because like I don't have the time for it. But definitely you can't go wrong with either one of those. Chiefs win back-to-back Lombardis. That is definitely. I am not disagreeing with that. Dominic. The Chiefs are definitely the cream of the crop in the AFC. I am not disagreeing with that. Phil Nevin or Derek Shelton? Who's worse? Shelton, not even close. But yeah, we're 40 minutes in, and we're 40 minutes in. So like I keep saying, 20 minutes in 20 minutes, I'm going to drop the link, one caller at a time, 5-minute window. Then I'm going to move on to another caller. But as always, do me a favor, like, comment, subscribe, follow on Instagram, link in the box below. Thank you all for coming in and taking time out of your Sunday night to be on here. I am going until 10:45 tonight. Yeah, like for some reason, I really do think that the Dolphins are going to win the AFC East. I really do because unlike the Bills, I'm not saying that the Bills didn't get. I'm not saying the Bills got worse, but they didn't get better either. Like they just kind of remained the same. Miami, on the other hand, got better, and they didn't. They beat Buffalo in the first game last year. Buffalo took the second game, and then they had that playoff game with each other. But the Dolphins were in that game with their backup quarterback. They've played Buffalo tough all year last year. And I really do think the Dolphins are ready to take that next step. They made the playoffs. They had a good year last year, and they built off of it. I think they're ready to take that next step. What's going on, Open Creations? Thanks for tuning in. Appreciate it. He says, glad Matt Patricia is no longer the Pats' problem. He should never have been running the offense. Bill O'Brien being back as a relief. Yeah, Matt Patricia was never good at all. Matt Patricia is neither a good play caller nor a good coach at all. He's just a nobody. Rather have Brent Hundley than Mitch Trubisky. I think I'd rather have. This point, I think I'd rather have my leaf blowers outside than Mitch Trubisky. At least the leaf blowers can get the job done. And I know Mitch had a passing touchdown last night, but that doesn't change my mind about him. I still think Mason Rudolph is still the better backup between the two. Just because of one passing touchdown, that doesn't change my mind about him. How many years away do I think the Giants are away from being contenders? Well, I mean, I guess you guys are contenders right now, seeing that you made the playoffs last year. But if you're talking about Super Bowl contenders, I think for Super Bowl contenders, the Giants are like at least 2 drafts away. But if you're talking about being a good team in the NFC, I'd say you guys are already contenders. Maybe not good enough to beat Philly yet. I think you guys can match up well with Dallas, and that's going to be a good Sunday night game to start off the year. But, yeah, I think the Giants are good enough to compete with Dallas. I think the Giants can, you beat the Vikings in the playoffs last year, and, granted, I just don't think Minnesota's all that good, to be honest. But still, the Giants were a good team last year. If these were like the 2021 Giants going up against the Vikings, the Giants would have gotten obliterated. Okay? That was Joe Judge's Giants. They would have gotten obliterated. So while I do agree Minnesota just wasn't as good as people said they are, at the same time, the Giants were a decent team last year. But yeah, man, like 45 minutes in already. Wow. 45 minutes in already. As always, like, comment, subscribe, follow on Instagram. Link is in the chat below. And In about 15 minutes, I'm going to drop the link. I'm going to get one caller on, give them a 5-minute window, and then I'm going to move on to another caller because I know a lot of people want to come on here and talk, and I want to give everyone a fair chance. Yeah, the Yankees suck. This is probably the worst. Yeah, Pressman. I know you're a Boston fan, but I agree. The Yankees suck. This is easily the worst Yankee team I've ever seen in my life. It's crazy to say that because the Yankees honestly haven't finished under 500 in my entire life. The last time they finished under 500 was back in 1992, which was coincidentally enough the last time the Pirates won a division. But yeah, man, the Yankees suck. Thanks, underdog. Appreciate it, man. A refrigerator can be a better QB than Trubisky. I agree with that. The best team in Pittsburgh right now, I'd say the Steelers are. It's close. I'd say the Steelers are, because the Pens are still decent, but the Pens are trending downwards. We have the oldest team in the league. I mean, sure, on paper, when you have Sid, Gino, and Letang on your team, you should be making the playoffs and you should be a Stanley Cup team. But the Pens are trending downwards. Okay. The Pirates, I mean, sure, the Pirates are not a good team, but at least the future and the prospects that we called up have promise. So, it's tough, but out of the 3 Pittsburgh teams, I'd say the Steelers are the best team. How many predict the Pirates' record at the end of the season? I'm going to say 73 and 89. I think we avoid 90 losses, so I guess you can call that an improvement. But still, 73 and 89, not a good team at all. That's just my prediction. I say 73 and 89. Jamarcus Russell was an overweight fridge that was better than Trubisky, my guy. Well, I think Leedy said it best. Mitch Trubisky's the white Jamarcus Russell. So there you go with that. I can't predict the Pirates next year because I need to see what the Pirates do in the offseason. Teams change every offseason. I can't predict what we're going to do in 2024 because, this season's still going on and we need to have the offseason go on. Paul Skeens, I don't think he's going to see next year. If he does, it's going to be like a dinner date call-up or something like that at the end of the season. I think in my opinion, the earliest that we see Paul Skeens is 2025. Definitely shut him down rest of the season, bring him up to Double-A, no hesitations right there. You got to give that arm some rest, all right? If you have to call him up next year, do it at the end of the season. But I think the earliest that we see Paul Skeens is 2025. Yeah, 99. That was the last time we were above the Cardinals in the standings. And coincidentally enough, the Cardinals are our next opponent. We're coming back home. We got the Cardinals for 3, I think. And then we got the Cubs for 4, I believe. And as I keep saying, next Sunday afternoon, I'm going to be at the game sitting on the Clemente wall and right. That's going to be a first for me. Maybe you'll see me on TV. I don't know. But, yeah, I'm going to be on the wall in right field. The first time I've ever sat on the wall in right field, actually. It's crazy. I've been going to PNC Park for over 20 years, and I've never sat on the Clemente wall and write. So next Sunday is going to be a first for me. Which Penguins choke was worse, 2011, 2014, or 2022? Honestly, it's close between 2011 and 2014 because 2022 we just kind of waltzed into the playoffs and the Rangers were just the better team. Oh, man. I would probably say shoot. I mean, don't get me wrong, all three of those chokes sucked, but like if I had to choose the worst of them, honestly, I'd probably say 2011. That Pens team was just. Actually, you know what? I'd say 2014. You can kind of excuse the Pens for 2011 because Sid missed a lot of 2010-11 because of a concussion. But 2014, I mean, you make the second round of the playoffs. I think blowing it to a division rival just makes it much worse. I'd say 2014. But yeah, like I said, not that 2022 wasn't bad because it was, but it's just that the Pens just kind of waltzed in the playoffs and the Rangers were just the better team. But no one expected the Pens to have a choke of that magnitude, you know. I'd say 2014 was worse. Because after that choke job, we had that joke of a coach in Mike Johnston for what, a year and a half? In the Pens, I mean, sure, we made the playoffs in 14-15, but it was a lot like 21-22 where we just didn't really deserve the playoffs. And coincidentally, we lost to the Rangers in the first round of the playoffs that year. Rangers beat us in 5 games. Why are the Indians so bad? I think they're just dealing with a lot of, and I'll give Cleveland the benefit of the doubt and say that they're just dealing with a lot of injuries. But at the same time, Cleveland has a lot of young guys as well. You know, they're calling up their farm, and I think when Cleveland's healthy next year, I think they'll be better. But, you know, that just depends on what they do in the offseason. Do I think Tamar Johnson's going to be better than Josh Bell? Totally. Josh Bell, all he could do was just mash the ball. Josh Bell was a terrible fielder. Like, honestly, Josh Bell, I think even if it was still, I think even if the AL still just had DH and the NL still had the pitcher's bat, Josh Bell should just be an AL hitter and just be DH. Josh Bell was a terrible fielder. Tamar Johnson actually has a pretty solid glove. I think Tamar Johnson's going to be really good. Yeah, I obviously don't like the Cardinals, but I bought my friend an okay, I can respect Ozzie Smith, okay? I can respect Ozzie Smith. That's probably him and Pujols, okay? As much as I didn't like Pujols because he killed us all the time, I can put some respect on Ozzie Smith and Albert Pujols, okay? I can agree with you on that. But, yeah, other than that, no. No. Brady says, by the looks of the game last night, do you think that we'll be better? I already think we are better than last year. I honestly think we're better than last year already, man. This offense is already better than last year. And like I said earlier, I love the direction that we're headed. Best Penn squad of the 90s, Mario, Barreso, and Yager, definitely. Best Pens team in the 90s, obviously, I'd say the 91-92 team that won the back-to-back cups. But aside from that, 92-93, oh, man, the Pens should have three-peated that year. The Pens definitely should have three-peated in 93. It should have been like we should have been like the Chicago Bulls, honestly, winning 3 straight titles from 91 to 93. The Pens in 93 won 56 games and won the President's Trophy, and we were heavily upset by the Islanders in the playoffs. But, man, other than the 91 and 92 teams, man, that 92-93 team was so good. Will I ever go to a Steelers-Ravens game? Oh, man, I want to. You have no idea how much I want to, but the tickets for that game are just so expensive. I don't know if I'll ever be able to. The next time I can feasibly go to a Steelers-Ravens game, I will definitely do it. But, man, like, the tickets for that game are always going to be through the roof. KPA definitely throwing darts, Mark. Definitely. Hey, I'm not complaining about it. Flyer fans are complete morons for always saying Crosby sucks. Hey, I'm not complaining about it. You want to know why? Because Sid always plays better when he does that, when they do that. I'm not complaining about it. Hey, Philly, please keep chanting that. Please keep chanting that, Philly. We appreciate you giving Sid free points against your team. We appreciate you for that. I'm not complaining about it. '92 was the year the Pirates should have went to the series. One Draybeck went away. Bob Walk pulled his weight. Yeah, and then bottom of the ninth, blew a 3-0 lead. Sid Bream scores the winning run. Noodle arm Barry Bonds can't throw him out at the plate, and the Pirates have been horrible ever since. But yeah, that night, those early 90s Pirates teams were really good. Well, they should hate Sid. They should hate Sid. Sid's been their owner ever since he came in the league. I don't really hate Eagles fans. I just like to. The thing with that, I don't really hate Eagles fans. I just like to annoy them just because it's Pittsburgh and Philly. But I don't really hate Eagles fans all that much. Flyer fans, I hate. Can't stand. I hate everything about the Flyers. What's my take on Kenny Pickett this year? We all waiting. Kenny Pickett just keeps making progress in training camp, man. Definitely. Do I think Harris would take a back seat to what? That's something else that I wanted to talk about with Jaylen Warren. Has Jaylen Warren, taken over the number one, the RB1 spot? I don't know. But the way that he just busted out for that touchdown, like, let me show you guys something, okay? These are the running stats from last night's game. All right? These are the rushing stats. So as you can see here, look at this. Jaylen Warren, his only carry of the game was the touchdown run. But then you see Najee Harris all the way right here. Only 2 carries for 6 yards. So, like, he's getting small chunks right there. But I don't know if it's safe to say if Jaylen Warren's won the RB1 spot yet. But I definitely think that we have a good three. I think we definitely do have a good problem to have when it comes to the run game. Because Anthony McFarland, I don't think people give him enough credit. I really do like Anthony McFarland. All right, so it is now 9:45, so let me go ahead and get my headphones on real quick. Just going to do a quick sound check. Just going to do a quick sound check real quick just to make sure my headphones are working because I need to hear you guys as well. All right, they're good. Yeah, they're good. Okay, so as always, do me a favor, guys. Like, comment, subscribe. Follow on Instagram. Link is in the box below. And what's in the chat now is the link to the chat. So this one for the next hour, I'm going to have an open chat, and I'm only going to have one caller on at a time, give them a 5-minute window to be on here. And then I'm going to move on to someone else because I know that there's a lot of people that want to be on here. So I just want to give everyone a fair shot. So let's bring on Luke. How you doing, buddy? Thanks for coming on here.
Good. About yourself?
I am doing great, man. I mean, it's just been a great, 24 hours or so watching this team play and seeing the offense just continue to make progress after progress. It's just been a treat to see, man.
Yeah, man. I'm a Tampa Bay sports fan, so I was proud to see my Buccaneers beat the Jets. We played great defense that game. We only allowed 6 points to the Jets offense. Yeah, it's preseason, but it's something, right?
Yeah, for sure, definitely. I mean, I don't pull any kind of punches, man, but I think Inns guys are going to be the worst, if not one of the worst teams this year, just because of the off season that you had. But how do you feel about Tampa Bay's defense a little bit after a performance like that? Like, was A-Rod playing last night?
No, it was Zach Wilson.
Oh, well, there you go, right there. But still, like, how do you feel about Tampa Bay's defense?
I mean, especially after last season. I mean, I don't think it was their fault for how we played. I think it was the trashy offense, and it just tired out our defense. So I don't really blame our defense for last season. But this season, I mean, we still got Levante David. We still got some weapons on defense. But I agree with you. I think they will not be as good. I mean, we've got Baker. He's unpredictable, so we'll have to see how he plays out. And we still got two great receivers in Godwin and Evans. So also we need to improve on our running game because I don't like our running at all.
Yeah, Steeler Nation knows Baker Mayfield real well. We dealt with him for 4 years or so when he was 3 years if you want to count. Yeah, 4 years if you want to count last year. But we know Baker all too well. Luckily, the Bucs don't have to worry about that. We don't play you guys this year. But I'll tell you an interesting story, Luke. So,
all right.
Me and my buddy at work. My buddy's a Browns fan, so obviously he's gonna, he's a Baker Mayfield guy. And he asked me one time, and this was before Baker Mayfield signed with Tampa. And he's like, he says to me, so say that the Steelers sign a backup quarterback, or they need a backup quarterback if Kenny Pickett gets injured, and you guys choose to move on from, Mitch Trubisky or Mason Rudolph or whatever, would you sign Baker Mayfield as a backup? I said yes. Because I don't think that he's an elite starter. I think he's a serviceable starter, but I think definitely down the line he can be a good backup.
Yeah. I don't like Kyle Trask though. I think we should start Mayfield because Trask, in my opinion, is a bust. What has he proven, really, other than that preseason game where he only scored like 13 points, 10 points, whatever? I prefer Mayfield over Trask any day, and I prefer that Wolford guy over Trask. Seriously, I don't like Trask. He's a bust in my opinion. Seriously,
wow.
what's he proven?
You're already calling him a bust?
Yeah. How long has he been on our team for? A few years?
Wow.
What has he proven?
Wow, I mean, I like to try and give, players a chance, but wow, you're already writing him off right there.
I mean, he hasn't really done anything. I mean, maybe he can do something in the future, but at least for right now, I'd prefer Mayfield and Wolford over Trask. Put him as the third stringer, in my opinion.
Yeah. All right. Well, hey, I'm gonna let you go for a little bit because
All right.
like I said, I want to have one caller on a time, give him a 5 minute window because I know there's a lot of people that want to come on here. But yeah, definitely, if you want to come back on later, I'll definitely have you back on.
All right. You have a good night.
All right. Take care, buddy.
Thank you. Peace.
All right. That was Luke, and let's get an old friend of mine, Pressman. What is going on, man?
Long time no see, buddy. Hey, first of all, before we get into sports, how's life been?
Life's been pretty good. Like I got my own condo now. I got my own place. I live in enemy territory, obviously. I'm in the outskirts of Cleveland and just doing what I can, working 10 hours a day pretty much and pumping out content whenever I can. I have an active social life now. Yeah, life is going pretty good. Just doing what I can.
Yeah, yeah. Nothing much has changed for me. Hey, still working hard. The only things that have changed are the amount of jerseys, and there are a lot more in my closet, and a lot more in my bag. And I'm wearing my Matthew Slater jersey right now, something you don't see often.
No,
And
definitely not.
and of course the dyed hair, but I'm not turning into Dennis Rodman.
Yeah. Yeah, like I got a hairdo going on as well. Like you can't see it obviously because I'm wearing a hat, but like I found like a new one. So like I have kind of like a pompadour look now where like the front is like kind of spiked up and the sides are like faded and trimmed. Like I really like that look on me.
Yeah, and just like you, I'm still in enemy territory. I'm in Miami Dolphins country.
Oh yeah, that's right. I get that.
All right, now as for how I feel about out the Pats, though, how Bill O'Brien being back is definitely a great relief because training camp is a lot better. Matt Patricia never had any business running an offense. He was already a failed coach, and he screwed up when it mattered most, being a defensive coordinator. Even though he sometimes had his bend don't break moments, but still. And another thing too, you last night against the Packers, though, I do like how Matt Hack played. The only reason he was getting wrecked sometime was because virtually all the backups were in at offensive line and stuff. And yeah, I know you've had your history with TikTok Boy or Juju Smith-Schuster, but I actually like him. And he can just be himself and maybe thrive in a Bill O'Brien offense.
Yeah, see, that's the thing, because like you know how I feel about Tomlin. I'm very gray area with him. Like I don't hate him. There's definitely things that I hate that he does, but at the same time I'm not like overly in love with him. The point is with Tomlin with me is that I treat him kind of like a family member. I give him credit when it's due and I criticize him when it's due. That's all there is to it with that. But like Tomlin just always kind of seemed to let egos get in the way a little bit. And that was really obvious when Antonio Brown was here and when Juju was here, especially tail end of 2020. But like it kind of seems like now that Tomlin is kind of like learning how to get egos in check a little bit more. And I think maybe Juju had to be like kind of like the sacrificial lamb for that. But I'm happy for him. He'll always be a Steeler, like I said earlier. I'm a lot more patient with players that we draft as opposed to players that we get in like free agency and trades. But I wish the best for Juju. I hope he does well. Obviously not against us on my birthday, but you know what I mean.
Speaking of receivers, I do like that we drafted Demario Douglas and out of Liberty and Kayshon Boutte out of LSU. He's looking like a draft steal. I saw pretty fast, and he was a talented receiver at LSU, but had a tumultuous college tenure. He did get kicked off the team, but he looks like he could be a good fit. And And you saw that the preseason game aim had to end because we could have had another DeMar Hamlin situation.
Yeah, I heard about that.
Isaiah Bolden is just fine, though. The hospital just had to check him. He's fine.
Well, that's good. I'm glad to hear about that.
He had a
that
concussion.
incident that Hamlin had, it really opened my eyes, and it triggered me a little bit too, because for someone that actually is looking to go back to school and get his master's in nutrition to become a trainer, and for someone that is actually a first aid responder on my job, it triggered me, because it's like that could happen at work one day for me, and someone else's life could be in my hands, and I could be the only one who saves them, So yeah, that definitely triggered me. But God bless both of them. They're making great progress.
Yeah, it's pretty easy why it could be bothersome. But speaking of which, I did get this. I got his Pittsburgh jersey. I can't get it. Thing is, I can't get his Buffalo jersey for obvious reasons.
Yeah, I get that. All right, well, hey, I'm going to get someone else on here, and if you want to come back, definitely I'll have you back on here, man. Good chatting with you, man.
Good chatting with you too. I'll probably just stay on the stream just in case.
All right, sounds good, brother. All right, that was Matthew Pressman, longtime subscriber of mine. Let's get another longtime subscriber on here. Dashy, how you doing, man?
I'm very, very pissed off with this team.
Wow, what happened?
We played like shit today against Toronto at home.
The Blue Jays, I mean, we had a lousy series against them in May as well. I just kind of chop it down to the Blue Jays just being a good team, and we were on that 7-game losing streak at the time, but yeah, stinking it up at home is never good.
Yeah, and we lost 3 of our last 4 series at home. Now we're in a tough situation because we're a game behind the Cubs for that 3rd and final wild card spot in the NL. And I'm sick and tired with how this Reds team performed. Then we go to Anaheim next to play the Angels. I'm saying this right now. Angels are sweeping us. We have not won a series in Anaheim just yet.
I think you guys can come away with at least a game there. I really don't think the Angels just lack consistency. It's crazy to think that I can say now 20 years ago they were one of the best teams in the AL. You had your Vlad Guerreros, you had your Sean Figgins, you had your Weavers, your Washburns. I mean, you had all them great guys. Jim Edmonds played with them for a little bit. The Angels had some really good teams back then, but ever since 09 or something around there, they have just been so Jekyll and Hyde.
Yeah, and it's crazy to think we have never won a series in Anaheim just yet. And Ohtani's starting Tuesday. You already know we're already fucked there.
Yeah, I don't know though. I mean, granted, we don't play the Angels very often. We only play them once every 3 years, but that's going to change now just because of the new format. But yeah, we had a bad series against them in Anaheim too.
Yeah, and plus Anaheim, LA, and San Diego all hit by hurricanes. Anaheim, LA got hit by an earthquake as well.
Yikes. That's California for you.
Yeah, and it's bad enough you lost a brother who was in the trash talk circle yesterday.
Yeah, I heard about that. I mean, I know this is going to sound kind of douchey, but yeah, it's sad that he's gone, but it's sad that he died, but at the same time, I was never really close with him. So it's it doesn't really affect me all that much, but my heart goes out to his family,
Yes, and I also been to package a couple of days ago. I got my Ken Anderson jersey just hanging up in the closet.
Yeah. All right. Well, hey, I'm gonna get someone else on here, and I'll try and get you back on in a bit. Okay.
Right.
All right. All right. Let's get a Raven fan on here. PK, how you doing, buddy?
Great, man. How you doing? So why'd you change your name out of curiosity from Steel Sermon to Max Sports?
Okay, so two reasons for that. So the main reason for me is that when I hit 1,000 subs, I just checked my email one day, and for I don't know why I don't know why Gmail and YouTube does this, but like it logged me out of my account for some reason. And usually I have all my passwords and usernames in my notes section on my PC here. For some reason, I never wrote down my verification code and my password for my Gmail. And so it's like, oh my God, are you kidding me? Like after I just got 1,000 subs. And like the thing is when you're on YouTube, you just never think that crap's going to happen to you. So instead of going through the whole process of customer service again, because Gmail's customer service is absolute trash, I can tell you that right now. Instead of going through that again, I'm just like, okay, this is the last time I'm changing my name on here. So I just figured it'd be easier to do that instead of just go through the whole process. But I chose Mac in particular because if you know me on Facebook, right? Mac is my initials. And I just wanted something simple, and I wanted to attribute it to Pittsburgh. Like the name on YouTube says Yinzer Mac, but that's like only phonetic for me. So like I just go by Mac in my videos.
All right, thanks, man. But I'm happy you have 1,000 subs again. I can't wait to see your live streams during the season.
Yeah, Calvin Austin. Oh man, I love this guy so far. I mean, I knew what he could be even last year because even when he was injured last year, I kept saying to everybody, wait till Calvin Austin is good to go. This guy has great speed. I think it'll open up Canada's playbook a little bit more, and our special teams is going to look infinitely better. And you showed he had a 55, 54 somewhere around there punt return that set up Kenny Pickett's second touchdown pass last night.
Very cool.
Definitely love Calvin Austin so far.
Well, I'm sort of a fan of him too. You know what? I'm thinking about drafting Kenny Pickett as my quarterback in fantasy. What do you think of that?
Oh, you did?
I know I will because I'll be drafting this coming Saturday, so I may draft him, Kenny Pickett.
Oh, wow.
And I'm a Ravens fan, dude. I might draft him. Why not, right? Kenny Pickett.
Wow, that's bold right there, man.
Yeah, just because I'm a Ravens fan doesn't mean I can't be a fan of some of your players. I like a bunch of your players on your team. My favorite player on your team is TJ Watt.
I think that's every Steeler fan's favorite player right now. But yeah, man, I hear what you're coming from. Like, obviously you're a Ravens fan. I can't root for anybody on your team. But like the only two Ravens that I've ever had respect for, Ed Reed, because I really do think that I mean, I find it hard to compare Ed Reed and Paul Malu because they were two completely different kind of safeties. But you got to make it 1A and 1B with them, First ballot Hall of Famers. Ronnie Lott is up there for like the top 3 safeties of all time. So like Ed Reed is definitely one that I've always respected. And honestly, for as much as this guy kills us all the time, Justin Tucker. Like I used to think Vinatieri was the greatest kicker, but man, I think Justin Tucker takes the cake.
I agree, man. And what's going to say? So I actually think that the Steelers, I'm actually bullish on you guys this year. I think you guys could have a chance to throw in the Bengals this year as the AFC North division titles. Because look, a lot of people sleeping on you guys in your preseason. I know it's preseason, but your offense looks very good. Your defense just terrorized Josh Allen. That was his whole starting offense out there.
Right. Yeah, and the Bengals are kind of soft right now. I don't know if Joe Burrow's 100% good to go, but you can't really count out anyone in the North, dude. Like I keep saying it time and time again, if there's one division in the league where all 4 teams legit have a chance to make the playoffs, it's ours.
I actually would like that. It's possible now because you have 3 wild cards, so I would like to have all AFC North teams making the playoffs. That would be hilarious.
That would be really cool, actually.
And wasn't to say also. So yeah, you going to any Steelers games this year? Because I'm going to Ravens Lions game week 7.
I tried to get tickets for a game. I don't think it's going to happen this year because like I wanted to go week 1, but then my buddy from Sharon, he's like, "Hey, I'm having a watch party week 1. You want to come?" I'm like, "Sure." So like I'm neither going to that game nor streaming it week 1. I wanted to go week 8, but like I couldn't, my boss is kind of strict about PTO, even though it's on a Sunday. I wanted to go to the game on my birthday, but again, I would have to get PTO, and my boss is kind of strict about PTO. Honestly, the one that would make most sense for me is December 23rd when we play the Bengals at home. But, because it's around Christmas time and I'm going to be in Pennsylvania anyway that weekend because that's where I usually am on Christmas. But, like, it's a Saturday night. That game's going to be on primetime pretty much on national TV. I just don't think I'm going to be able to go to a game this year. Maybe next year.
Well, yeah. I hope you get to go next year. I hope that things change for you. But hey, I'm excited for your live streams again, and I'll try to attend as many as possible. And I'll let you go in a few minutes, but I want to tell you this. I think week 1, you're going to upset the 49ers at home.
Do you?
Yeah, do you know why? Because I'm surprised they're favored. Because look, Brock Purdy's coming back from injury. Their quarterback situation is not necessarily feel good. I know Brock Purdy was great, but he's going against a very menacing defense. You guys at home, you're home underdogs. When you guys are home underdogs, that's the best value, I think. What do you think of that?
That's a very good point. Tomlin actually has a winning record all time when the Steelers are underdogs. So that's a really good point.
Because remember, last time we played Big Ben in Pittsburgh, we were favored to win by 3 points. You beat us by 1 point when John, our coach, decided to let you go for 2.
Yeah, I still don't. I mean, I get the logic with it because like Tucker was like either hurt or just not doing well in that game, if I remember right. One or the other. But at the same time, it's like you scored a touchdown, go for the win, But still, like, just kick that damn extra point, man.
I think I know what happened because our best cornerback, Marlon Humphrey, was out with a season-ending injury. He went down with injury when Deontay Johnson scored a game-winning touchdown then. So we were out of cornerbacks. That's why we went for 2, because overtime we thought Big Ben probably would have carved up our defense. That's what happened.
Yeah, I don't know about carved up because you're dealing with a 39-year-old quarterback who's just throwing 5-yard slants all the time. But if it was like prime Ben, absolutely.
Yeah, it wasn't a say then. So I'm going to say something else. My Ravens, we lost. We're down Marlon Humphrey, our best cornerback. So who knows? He'll be back early in the season, but who knows? He might be able to sweep us because week 5, we don't have Marlon Humphrey. Kenny Pickett might be able to take advantage of that,
Yeah. All right. Well, hey, oh my God, it's been over 5 minutes. I'm going to get someone else on here right now, man, but definitely I'll try to get you back on if I can.
Oh, yeah, I'm probably going to head to bed soon, but hey, thanks for letting me on, man.
Yeah, absolutely. Take care, brother.
Bye. God bless.
All right. Take care. Okay, let's get Matthew on here. How you doing, man?
What's up?
Not much. Just doing the
Do you know why my camera isn't like I can't see my face at all?
I can't see it either.
Yeah.
Like, do you have it on like the selfie mode or something?
Where do I go? I see mic, cam, chat. More. Let me try getting out and going back in.
Like, are you on your PC or your phone?
I'm on my phone, but I was able to see my face earlier. I don't know why I can see it. I can't see it now.
That's weird.
Let me try going back out and going back in really quick.
Okay. Well, in the meantime, oh wait, he said he was gonna come back in and come back out. Wow, that did not sound right. But oh my God, I have a dirty mind. But anyway, wow, a lot of chats on here. All right, let's try now.
No, forget it. I won't worry about it.
Are you sure?
No, it's fine. I'm good.
All right, well then, maybe next time.
Yeah. But what was I gonna say? Yeah. So how have you been?
I'm doing pretty good. Just just having a good life, just doing my social life as best I can, watching the games whenever I can, working hard, and just
Yeah,
being
same.
myself.
Yeah, I'm the exact same. So highlights of the Steelers preseason game last year. I think you guys are obviously gonna be way better than last year. That's for sure.
Oh, I already think we are better than last year.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like this offense last year. I mean, if this was the same offense last year,
Mm-hmm.
we would have like nothing going as far as production goes because Matt Canada would only know like 3 plays total.
Mm-hmm.
But now it's like you get Calvin Austin healthy. You're seeing Kenny Pickett progress in training camp. And now you get a tight end in the draft. You get, you have, what you have in George Pickens instead of just saying, here, run this straight line and go for as many yards as you can.
Mm-hmm.
We're seeing these plays start to become a little more innovative.
Mm-hmm.
And it's something that you got to give Matt Canada credit for.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I think Joey Porter Jr. is going to be an absolute stud. That guy's, I think he's going to turn out to be really good.
He had a great game last night, man.
Mm-hmm. I know they're not the same. I know they're not the what do you call it, the same type of player, but I think he can turn out to be a good version of Troy Polamalu.
Whoa, Polamalu.
Yeah, I don't think he'll be as Polamalu, but I think he'll be kind of like near the type of player he was.
Yeah, it's hard to say that because you're talking about a safety and a corner.
Yeah.
But if you're talking about the impact that he had on defense, because Polamalu was like the captain of the defense when he was here, you know. So if Peasy Jr. can definitely have that kind of characteristic, I mean he's gonna be like a legend here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But yeah, he's only a rookie. We'll just play it by ear. But definitely, if he can have that kind of coverage that he had on Gabe Davis all night last night, and that translates to the regular season, I think the sky's the limit for this dude.
Oh yeah, for sure. I liked what I saw from the Dolphins. Although I was still just numb about Tua throwing that pick on the first play. But isn't it ironic that we won 28-3 in Houston? The same place where the Falcons blew it.
It was actually 28-3.
Yep.
Oh man. Wow. I kind of hope that you were playing the Falcons, but
oh my god.
But yeah, wow, that is ironic.
Yeah.
Houston ain't coming back from that.
No. No.
Wow, that's pretty funny actually.
No, but I think we're gonna be, really good. It all depends if Tua's healthy. But I just feel like this year is make or break it for him. If he gets injured one more time, he might as well hang it up.
Yeah, I agree with that. That's why I'm high on you guys this year to take the division because I think Tua is just gonna ball out this year. He's okay, you had 2 concussions last year, and you had the Bills on the ropes in the playoffs with your backup quarterback. You have possibly the best wide receiver duo in the league with the Penguin and the Cheetah. And you made all these additions to your defense in the offseason. There's, in my opinion, there's literally no excuse for Miami.
And now that Vic Fangio is our defensive coordinator, there should be absolutely no excuse. We should win at least 11 to 12 games.
You should.
The thing about that playoff game is that we probably could have won that game if those early drops didn't happen.
I agree. You had the Bills on the ropes for a while.
I know. We were probably going to get blown out by the Chiefs, but still, it still would have been nice to finally see us win a playoff game for the first time in my life.
Yeah, definitely. All right, well, hey, I'm going to let you go for a little bit, and I'm going to get someone on here.
I'm going to see. I think my cam will be better whenever your next stream is. I don't know. It's probably just a malfunction or something.
Yeah, don't rush it, man.
All right, I'll see you. Have a good one.
All right, take care, brother.
You too.
Okay, let's get a Pens fan on here. KC, what's going on, man?
What's good? What's good, man?
I'm doing great. I
I
have
actually
that.
subscribed to you a while back when you were still Maiden. That was
Oh wow, you're an
yeah,
you're an old
yeah.
timer.
Casey's actually my initial. I'm actually here.
I have that.
I'm in,
I
I'm
have
in my
almost
dorm
that
room
exact.
right now.
What's that? Oh, you're in your dorm. Okay. I have almost that exact same hat.
Yeah, I'm here in Kingsville, Texas.
Oh, okay. What city is that closest to?
Yeah, it's an old one. It's an old one. Yeah, I'm getting ready for some football and hockey season here.
Yeah, that's
Is it
what.
lagging
Yeah,
for you?
that's what's up, and yeah, that's what's up in Pittsburgh. You know, like a lot of people. I mean, a lot of people. They just kind of just. I mean, obviously, if you're not diehard like me, and you're just watching the Pirates just because you're waiting for the Steelers and Pens to get back on, but like. You know, the Pirates were the first team that were the first sports team that I ever became a fan of. But like definitely football's here, hockey's not too far away either. Yeah, what do you think of the Pens this year, man? Hello? KC, can you hear
I
me?
think it depends. I think they should be a really good team. Like Eric Carlson, that's a new, huh?
Oh no, you kind of like froze for a second, but go ahead.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, it might be this might be college internet like yeah. Yeah, I'm kind of excited for Carlson coming to Pittsburgh. That was a sweet deal.
For sure.
Um just everything in general. I'm just looking forward for football. Um the draft was good. I actually do like the Houston Texans. I kind of watch some Texans football here. It's going to be interesting. D'Amico Ryan should change that defense all around. Will Anderson should either A, be a monster, or B, turn out to be like Jadeveon Clowney, which that was an experiment all on its own. So.
Yeah, definitely. Like I
you think
think
TJ Watt's going to go for another 20 plus?
oh, definitely, man. Like, I don't know if he'll get it this year, but like a healthy TJ Watt, man, he's good for like fit obviously like 15 to apparently 22 and a half sacks, but I think TJ Watt is just going to be on a mission this year, man. And you know, last night I didn't mention him enough from last night's game, but TJ had a really solid game last night. I mean, all the pressure was there. He was getting up in Allen's face last night. But the big star for me defensively last night had to, aside from Peasy Jr., it had to have been Nick Herbig, who we took out of Wisconsin. Nick Herbig was like a monkey on the field last night. He was everywhere.
Well, I guess my only question for the Steelers is this year, like, who's going to be replacing Edmund? Who's going to be like the true replacer for Edmonds at safety, and who's going to be that helpful slot, corner slot behind Porter and Peterson?
Well, that's what we're having training camp for. In a mixed bag, I think it's going to come
like,
down to
Minka's
either.
is probably not going to.
Well, yeah, that's the question right there. Like, who's going to play opposite of Minka, pretty much. But like, if you want my opinion, it's going to come down to either Riley or Norwood, because Trey Norwood's has had so many chances to prove himself, and he's made some good progress at training camp as well. But I think the logical one would probably be Elijah Riley, because Riley's the type of guy to where like he can play both nickel and he can play like both nickel and dime coverage, which is what we're looking for in the type of scheme that benefits Tomlin's system better with defense. But I definitely think there's going to be competition between those two. And there already is at camp.
Okay. Man, college internet's so bad here. I completely forgot how school internet sucks.
Yeah, it's all right. But hey, I'm actually gonna let you go anyway because my buddy Matt, my buddy Pressman wants to come back on.
All right.
All right, take care, buddy. Okay, thanks for coming on. All right, let's get Pressman back on here. What's up, man? I know you were itching to come on here when Matthew was talking about the Dolphins and Texans game.
Oh yeah. I'm pretty sure you saw me smile at that 28-3 mention.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, and it was in
never
Houston.
going to go away.
It was in Houston too. How fitting. Oh, in fact, if you saw my recent post on Facebook, did you see my recent grocery bill? Oh,
I didn't see it yet, but
yeah, but when you get the chance, I will tell you this: the grocery bill was from Publix, which is Florida based, and my final bill was $28.03.
No way.
Yeah, yes way. If you look on there when you get the chance, you'll see it.
Man,
yeah, but
it's never gonna go away.
Yep, it never will. But of course, when I made a lot of those 28-3 jokes, I know some people were saying, "Don't you think that's old news by now?" Well, every time somebody says that, it's like, "Oh, but you never let us live 18-1 down."
I know, right? Like you have to have it one way or another.
Exactly. I mean, there are a lot of things that aren't going to go away. That's not going to go away. 28-3 is never going to go away, and we all know that for sure.
Yeah, see, back when I was in the one of the biggest reasons that I actually left the TTC is because, I have very thick skin. Okay, there are not a lot of things in this world that piss me off, other than, the Pirates playing like shit or any one of my teams playing like shit. But like, there's not a lot of things in this world that piss me off. But like, if you're trash talking, you have to be able to take what you give. And in the TTC, there were just not a lot of people that were like that. So it's like, it's no fun trash talking you if you're not going to react and you're going to talk back. And B, it's no fun to trash talk you if you're just going to be a total hypocrite about it.
That's true. I mean, I'm pretty sure we're all guilty of that kind of hypocrisy. But you still got to remember, if you dish it, you got to take it too.
Absolutely. I mean,
but
I've been memed to death on the TTC. I've been, a lot of content creators have made videos about me on the TTC. And I took all them roastings like a champ. We all know why, because I could roast them just as well.
That is true. But the only reason I didn't consistently make videos, I considered being in the TTC, but I saw how it kept, rotting from the inside though, and I can take a gross though, but when people of course are degrader 415 when they take it too far are like that, well, you do remember what the things he said about me too, right?
Yeah, I remember he dropped the hard R on you.
That is too far. I mean, I can take trash talk, but if you do that, that's something else. Sorry.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
But
there's definitely limitations. Like,
another thing too. I almost forgot to mention, and I know you made a video on it when Beast of the East faked his death. It really was the straw that broke the camel's back.
Yeah.
The TTC was rotting from the inside.
Yeah, that was it right there. And he did it to get out of a bet too. It's like if if you're gonna make a bet that you can pay. You know, I had to come on here 2020 back-to-back weeks pay off a bet. It was to Bills Mafia. I had to come on here and sing Frozen on camera. And then the very next week when the Bengals beat us on Monday night, I had to film myself in a video wearing Bengals gear.
Oh man.
Yeah.
You see, I have made bets again. That's with friends though, but however, they've been Jersey bet. That's though, and made 3 bets, lost 2 out of 3 to the same friend, and the first bet which I won, and given that he's that at one of his jobs used to be in the medical field, he made a bet with me that if the Pfizer vaccine gets FDA approved before or July, then he'd have to get me a Jason Tatum Duke jersey.
Really?
And that's why I have a Jason Tatum Duke jersey, and I won that bet. But then there were 2 other bets we made regarding March Madness, and I lost both those bets. I had to get him a Vince Carter North Carolina jersey and a Rasheed Wallace North Carolina jersey.
Oh, jeez.
And also I've been saving this best bet for last, and this was with one of my bosses who was a Steelers fan. And we made a bet over last year's Pats and Steelers game, and even without Tom Brady, you still kind of have your hands full with the Pats. And because I won the bet, and he had to give me a money to get any jersey I wanted, but he still paid me some extra bucks because he still wanted me to get that Jerome Bettis jersey for him.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and I actually recently bought him a Troy Polamalu jersey. He loved it, and I recently bought him Hines Ward, and he's gonna love it.
Oh, definitely. I would love that too.
Yeah. I mean, I've been gifting other people with jerseys since my closet's full enough already.
Yeah, I'm trying to kind of watch the money when it comes to jerseys, right now, just because being a homeowner takes a big bite out of your budget, dude. But I actually owe it to you. I actually kind of owe it to you too, why my jersey closet is so full, because I did see a video saying that you got a jersey from DHgate, and then I checked it out, and that's how I found a lot of those nice deals. I never impulsively bought. I usually just bought it. I usually just made one transaction every time I received money, whether it's a paycheck or anything else of the like. Yeah, I kind of do that as part of my discretionary from now on. Like, if I have a good credit score, I'll sometimes get a new jersey. But like, the most recent one that I got was my 95-96 Scottie Pippen jersey that I have in my closet. That's authentic. Like, I don't do DHgate anymore, honestly, because like they messed up one of my orders one time. I got a 94 Jaromir Jagr jersey in my closet, but they messed up the stitching for it. And so I'm like, I think I'm just going to order off the site from now on because I can afford it a little bit better. But yeah, like that was the most recent one that I got was my Pippen one.
But the thing is, with DHgate, that's why you have to carefully look at the seller's ratings and stuff, and percentage of positive feedback, and read the descriptions carefully too. That it had to be one of those sellers that kind of had a red flag or something. That's probably why your jersey got messed up.
Yeah, definitely. I'm starting to get off of Mitchell and Ness now because, like, I'm a sucker for throwback jerseys, and Mitchell and Ness has a lot of great throwbacks. Like, my Jerome Bettis one is from 96. My Mean Joe Green jersey is from 77. And, like, this is at the top of my head. And then my Franco Harris one is from 75, I think.
Franco Harris, you mean Larry Zonka?
Oh, God.
If you remember, you remember.
Oh, yeah, Edie Pito, yeah.
Yeah, ADP. Oh, and by the way, of course, I do have some jerseys outside my own teams, and I know I'd usually never get a Steelers jersey, but I do have this here, college jersey. Look what it is.
Paul Mall, USC. There you go.
I mean, I also have Reggie Bush and Junior Seau, rest in peace, from USC.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh, and there's something I almost forgot to show you. Maybe you saw it on social media, but at work. But this actually happened. This actually happened at work. Look whose jersey I have, and look who I got it, and I got it signed.
Oh, Grimes.
Brent Grimes. Yep.
No way.
Because here's the thing. You remember his wife, right?
Yeah.
Yep. Thing is, he served her at work many times, and because they live in the same county, and when I told her I got myself a creamsicle Buccaneer throwback Grimes jersey, she said, one of these days I got to bring Brent over and have him sign it.
Well, that's a good deal right there.
Yeah, it is. I mean, Brent is pretty friendly, quiet, and reserved though. Oh, his wife usually does a lot of the talking.
Yeah, I can see that. All right, well, hey, Matthew Spallina wants to come back on here, so maybe in a little bit I'll let you back on.
Gotcha. Hopefully his camera works this time around.
Yeah, it looks like it does. I just wanted to give it some time. But thanks, man. Hopefully see you in a bit.
Yeah. Hey, hope the Pats beat the Steelers again.
The fuck out of here. Okay. All right. What's going on, man? Looks like your camera's back up.
I just restarted my phone, so it's all good now.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah. Oh, hey, I don't know how I forgot to tell you this yet, but while I may be a Dolphins fan, don't take this the wrong way. I may be a Dolphins fan. They're my primary team, but I also have like a soft spot for the Eagles because I went to Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High School in Parkland. You know where the shooting happened in 2018 in Parkland?
I know.
Yeah, you know how like their mascot is an eagle?
Mhm.
So that's why I also have a soft spot for the Eagles. That's to represent my high school.
Yeah, I can get that, but
Yeah.
I don't have a problem with the Eagles because
but I don't like. I'm not like how do I say this? I don't like them like equally. Like I'm not as big.
Yeah,
of an Eagles fan as
I
I'm a
get what you
Dolphins
mean.
fan. Yeah.
I get what you mean. Like I have something like that for the Vikings and the Bills
Mm-hmm.
because I just respect the hell out of Bills fans. They're,
Mm-hmm.
in my opinion, they're the most loyal fans in the league.
Mm-hmm.
Anyone who has to sit through losing 4 Super Bowls, let alone all of them in a row,
Mm-hmm.
and they still sell out that stadium and they go there in blizzards more often than not, that right there, that's hardcore loyalty right there.
Yeah.
Man.
And
then with the Vikings, I feel bad for them because they can just never catch a break. Literally anything bad imaginable always happens to them.
Bro, I thought the Bills' year to win the Super Bowl was. I know a lot of people said the last year, but I thought the year was 2 years ago when 13 seconds against the Chiefs. I mean, that should have been their year.
They should have.
Yeah, but what I was saying about the Eagles is that that's kind of like why I support them. But yeah, I only root for the Eagles like when they're not playing against the Dolphins. Like if that makes sense.
Yeah. I don't have a problem with the Eagles because we only play them once every 4 years.
Yeah.
And the thing with Pittsburgh and Philly is obviously the two cities don't like each other. It's a very big in-state rivalry, kind of like LA and San Francisco or Cleveland and Cincinnati or I don't know, any of Dallas and Houston, Miami and Tampa. You know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah.
But the only Philly team that I hardcore hate are the Flyers.
Oh yeah.
And that's just because the Pens and Flyers have been rivals forever.
Mm-hmm.
The Phillies, I don't mind. I don't care about the Phillies. I don't care about the 76ers, and I really don't care about the Eagles. It's just the Flyers I hate.
No, I don't root for any other Philly team except the Eagles when they're not playing the Dolphins. So yeah, I don't the Eagles are the only Philly team I actually go for.
Yeah, me and my buddy from high school, we have kind of like a we kind of go back and forth with each other because he's from South Jersey and he's a Philly guy like how I'm a Pittsburgh guy.
Mm-hmm.
So like him and I always butt heads with each other. It's really cool. Like whenever he's always blowing up my phone whenever the Flyers beat us or when the Phillies beat us, and I do the same to him. So
I was going to say something earlier. Oh yeah, I
Yeah.
think the AFC North is very underrated because honestly, now that Joe Burrow isn't 100% healthy, honestly, I think anyone can win that division.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
I still think it's going to be the Bengals, but I mean, I don't know. I mean, we'll just have to see. I mean, I feel like you guys are honestly. I can see you guys finishing in second place. I'm not going to lie.
I do. Like, there's honestly no wrong answer for any order in that division.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I feel like.
And you also know something else I personally love about our division.
What's
It's
that?
like, in my opinion, there are 4 divisions in the entire league where every team in that division just hates each other.
Mm-hmm.
The NFC East, obviously. The NFC North, I'd say that too. The AFC West and us. All four of those divisions, you have
But
4
you
teams
said-
in each
sorry,
division. You have big rivalries with every team in that division.
So so you were kind of going a little fast. So you said your division, the NFC East, and what were the other two?
I'd say NFC North and AFC West.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, you got the big rivalries like Chiefs, Raiders,
Classic
and then the
one.
Packers, Bears. I know you always say the Eagles Giants is the best rivalry in the NFL, but I think it's Ravens Steelers because I think I commented on one of your videos. It's the hard nosed smash mouth football, all the a lot
over
of
the
close games
past over the past 20 years, it's definitely the best. But like if we're talking all time, I mean, let's face it, the Bears and Packers have just never really been
No, it's
good.
not.
The
Packers own them.
Yeah, they've never really been good at the same time. But like the reason I say Giants and Eagles is the best is because the all-time series between those two is incredibly close. And they've been playing each other since 1933 when the Eagles were founded, same year as us.
Mm-hmm.
And they've met in the playoffs now 5 times. The Eagles have the edge 3-2. So like that's just why I think it takes the cake over Bears Packers.
Yeah. I actually remember seeing the Deshaun Jackson punt return against the Giants in 2010. I saw that play live. I couldn't believe it.
Oh yeah, like I mean, I was watching this. Honestly, now that I think about it, during that game, wait a minute,
you guys
that was back in
that day. I remember.
That was back in 2010.
Yeah, you guys played the Jets that day. I remember.
Right. Yeah, I was thinking of 2009 for some reason, but yeah, that was a tough Jets game that we had. But yeah, like I was watching that game before on Fox, and like anyone would have shut off the game when it was 31-10.
Oh yeah, obviously.
And then Philly came back and beat them. Oh my God.
Honestly, you guys should have beaten the Dolphins last year if Tua had 4 dropped picks.
I know, right? That was probably the game that pissed me off the most last year was that one. Because, like, Kenny Pickett also threw 4 picks in that game, but I really only assigned one of them on him, and it was the last one where he tried to force a pass, which is just a common rookie mistake.
Mm-hmm.
But, like, the first one he threw, yeah, he overthrew Deontay Johnson. But Deontay Johnson could have made a play on it, and he tripped over his own 2 feet like an idiot and ended up getting intercepted.
Oh, that wasn't Chase Claypool? Oh, I thought it was him.
It was either him or – you know what? I think it was Claypool now that I think about it. It was one of those two. I know that. I think it was Claypool, though. The second one I really don't think was on Kenny Pickett either.
Mm-hmm.
It was because it shouldn't have happened. Like back-to-back penalties by Dan Moore – and the very next play after that, he threw a pick. So, like, that shouldn't have even happened, in my opinion.
He's horrible.
Yeah, but, you know, like, at the same time, you don't want to rush Broderick Jones because of the gauntlet that he would have to play in the first 3 weeks. But, like, if Dan Moore, like I keep saying, can prove that he's significantly better than Broderick Jones, then sure, whatever, start him the first 3 weeks against that pass rush. But at the very least, I would start Broderick Jones week 4.
Yeah, I think you guys. Honestly, think you guys. I saw somebody on here earlier. They said you got that they think you guys will upset the Niners week 1. I agree with that, especially if Brock Purdy doesn't play.
I kind of low-key agree as well. Like, I really like our chances of upsetting the 49ers because the past couple of years, we've had a knack for beating elite teams in week 1. Like 2021, we beat the Bills in Buffalo. Last year, we upset the Bengals in Cincinnati.
Mm-hmm.
And it just kind of seems like the 49ers, like, while they are a phenomenal team, I'm not taking anything away from them.
Mm-hmm.
Tomlin also has a great track record of playing of the Steelers playing really well against young or rookie quarterbacks. And we're going up against either Brock Purdy or Trey Lance in that game. I like our chances, honestly. I give us a good chance of beating the 49ers.
Yeah, I agree. I think you guys will start 2-0, and then you'll lose to the Raiders. So it's for whatever. I know you guys beat them.
We
last
never
year. Overall,
beat them on the road.
I'll never forget in 2018. Like, why didn't Tomlin leave Ben on the sideline?
Look, Tomlin, I like you, bro, but I like you, bro, but
Ben was cleared to play, right?
He was.
Yeah.
I like you, Tomlin, but seriously, what the fuck? You know, that was like the one time in my life where I legit wanted to punch a hole through my wall. Like that game pissed me off so bad.
I don't blame you at all. Or how about the tie against the Lions a couple years ago when you guys almost allowed like 200 something yards rushing?
I can kind of excuse it because Ben was on COVID protocol for that game. But at the same time, like, that overtime was just dreadful. Like, we should have won that game like 3 different times, and we kept turning the ball over.
Yeah, I remember Deontay Johnson, instead of going out of bounds, he just ran forward.
Just step out of bounds, dude. Don't risk making a play on it that you can't make. Just step out of bounds, bro.
Yeah, I can't really blame Freiermuth for that fumble because you said like he was a rookie at the time. I can't really blame him for that.
Man, I still can't believe that. All right, well, hey, I'm gonna let you go, and I'm just gonna finish up the stream here because
sounds good.
It's getting close to 10:45. All righty. Oh, Steel Twins were in. What's going on, boys? Thanks for tuning in, man. But yeah, that'll probably be my last caller for the night. It's 10:43 right now, so I'm gonna go ahead and wrap up the stream here. But yeah, man, just overall, like, this was such a really good stream right here. I love all the stuff that I was able to cover in these 2 hours of streaming here, getting people on here, and the format seems like it's working pretty well. And like I said, like I keep saying, just, if you haven't already, go like, comment, subscribe, follow on Instagram and on YouTube, or on links are in the box below. As far as my next stream goes, I don't know when I'm going to be able to feasibly get it done because I'm in Pittsburgh next week for a concert and the next day the Pirates game. Be sure to check out my Monday overreaction video for yesterday's game with the Bills. It's gonna cover, here's a spoiler, it's gonna cover a lot of what I talked about tonight. So like if you missed any of it tonight, then you may as well just watch my overreaction video tomorrow morning. I'm gonna have that out bright and early. I plan to have more content out as far as the week goes. But as far as my next stream goes, I'm just going to have to play that by ear because, by the time I get home next Sunday night, I'm going to be just tired from all the driving I'm going to do. I'm just going to want to, unwind and relax and just calm down from like the weekend that I had. But yeah, like this was a lot of fun. I always have a lot of fun doing this. I'm just so glad to be back on here, doing what I do best, interacting with you guys, talking, getting your opinions in, speaking my mind, interacting with the chat. I have built. It truly is incredible to think that, like, technically I've had 2 channels that have reached at least 1,000 subs. It really is incredible to think about that. But thank you all for tuning in. Have a great rest of your Sunday night. For you West Coasters out there, have a great rest of your Sunday. East Coasters over here like yourself, have a good night. Have a good work week. And this is Mac checking on out for the night. Have a good one, everybody.